We kind of mentioned the Jets in passing. I want to spend some time on them. You asked me a really interesting question about Sam Darnold before we started recording. Mm-hmm. Tell it to the people.
I don't think there's a quarterback in the league. Like, if you want to look at I know maybe there's not 32 definitive starting quarterbacks. I know Chicago's having that great training camp battle. But for the most part, we can say there's like 30 definitive starting quarterbacks. And I don't think there's a starting quarterback. There's more of a, I guess, variance of opinion than Sam Darnold. Because you hear analysts talk about Sam Darnold being like this great talent, can make all the throws, and he's just someone that's had bad injury luck and bad coaching, and supporting cast has been iffy. But then there's some people that think he's way too many turnovers, has been that consistent. I don't get all the hype about him. Like, I don't know. I feel like people are really super high on Sam Darnold, or they already think he's kind of damaged goods.
Is it possible for both to be true?
I think it's true that he puts the ball in harm's way too much, but I also think he's someone that has a ton of talent, accuracy-wise.
I think he's incredibly talented, but I think he might be damaged goods too. That's what I meant by, is it possible that both could be true? Right. Because, dude, a lot of young quarterbacks, it's dope when you're the number one pick. It's dope when you're a top 10 pick. But on the flip side, historically, you're going to a team that sucked. Unless there's a trade situation, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Chiefs traded up to get Mahomes. The Texans were already a good team. They just needed a quarterback. For the most part, you're drafting top 5. You're going to a shitbag organization. And the Jets have not entirely been a model franchise that you wanted to model your franchise after. So I think there is a split on Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is super talented, but he's gotten beaten up. He's had 2 different head coaches, different offensive schemes. He loses the one guy that he actually had some chemistry with, and Robbie Anderson. And yeah, maybe he wanted too much money. I don't know. Anderson did sign late, so maybe he was asking for a lot of money. I don't know. But one thing I do know is, going back to DeAndre Hopkins with Watson, when you have, and I'm not saying that the talent level is the same there, but I do think the chemistry was the same. Them two had great chemistry together. And it worked with them too. And when you're the Jets, Pro Football Focus, I got this over here. They do this decade-long projection of NFL quarterbacks. And the requirement is you need to be a starter for 2 years in the league, in your first 2 years of the league. And then they project the next decade based on your numbers, based on some of the advanced analytics on where your career is projecting. Jet fans might want to turn away. The comparisons for Sam Darnold: Blake Bortles, Geno Smith, Christian Ponder, Mark Sanchez. This is a guy that you took 3rd overall. A lot of people were saying it was crazy that he didn't go number 1. And he was in that discussion of guys that you would want to build your franchise with.
They trade up to get him with the Colts.
And now you're looking at it like, man, I think they're going to be a 5-win team. At best, 6 wins.
You're being friendly. I think they're 3-13, 4-12. I just don't see a lot of offensive talent and pass rush. It's just talent in general. Like, what's there? I think one thing you have to take into account, Sam Darnold's on a rookie deal, and it's just
have not taken advantage of it one bit.
You see all these teams doing it: Chiefs, Rams, Eagles. Ravens now. Look at Ravens getting Earl Thomas, Calais Campbell. You just look at the Jets, it's just a big mystery. And just like at some point, in 2 years, you're going to have to make that decision with Darnold. We're going to invest, or are we going to do another rebuild?
Yeah, there's 2 things that help franchises, I think, when it comes to quarterbacks. You have to either find a rookie quarterback that's competent or to good, and you could take advantage of bringing in people around him to elevate him. Or if you do pay your quarterback big money, he needs to be an elite guy. He needs to be Russell Wilson. He needs to be Pat Mahomes. He needs to be Rodgers, prime Brady. You can't pay Andy Dalton big money. You can't pay those guys that, sure, you could be a franchise guy, and I get it why you do it, because sometimes the answer is like, yo, what do I got after that?
Just want stability.
You want stability, yeah. And especially when you're a team like, I think this is a big year for Cleveland. I think Baker's going to be better. I think the Browns are going to be better. But I also think if you're the Browns, you want to make sure that you see that, like, yo, this guy is legit. And one day when he comes up, you want to talk about a team that's acquired a lot of big contracts. Cleveland is like that too. And you want to be able to know that, yo, if I'm going to pay this dude, he got to be able to perform at a high level. Mm-hmm. And I think with the Jets, that's the biggest black eye for the Jets amongst many black eyes that they've had.